My name's Merton, and I gave a presentation earlier. Larry from Real SEO was too hungover to get here in time for my presentation, so maybe next year. But what am I talking about? Who I am and what I do? I made a series of videos that got very popular on YouTube, where I recorded random strangers on the Chatroulette webcam site, and I played piano and sang songs to them about them. Reclining dude in a white tank top, leaning his head on his hand, semi-Italian looking, just like his parents had planned. So I've played piano and done improvisational music for a long time, but Chatroulette allowed me the mass exposure so that I could take yet another step towards world domination. Well, what I'm into mostly is public piano playing. I like to set up a piano in a strange location where people are not expecting it, non-traditional, unorthodox audience situation. I like when somebody's just living their life, thinking about what groceries do I have to buy on the way home, and all of a sudden, here's a guy with a piano singing about them. And so on Chatroulette, you know, I was always dealing with someone who had basically volunteered. They had a limited set of expectations. They knew that they were logging onto this website, someone was going to show up on the other end. But in real life, it's much more fun because they're not ready for it, they're not expecting it, so I get a different kind of interaction on the street. Yeah, improvisation is, for me, means making it all up on the spot. There's a lot of different interpretations of improv. A jazz improvisation usually is a set song with a chord sequence, and then you keep using the same chords, but you play other stuff over it. Acting improv usually has a format, like, okay, you know, if you go see Second City live or something like that, they'll say, okay, let's do the Star Trek sketch, but let's let the audience decide what we're going to talk about. But they still have a framework. Where I'm interested in absolute pure improv, where you know, I'm performing tonight at the cocktail party here. I have no idea what I'll do. I'll sit down. If some guy says, play that Bon Jovi song, I'll play the Bon Jovi song. If a guy in a plaid shirt walks up, I'll play the song about the guy in the plaid shirt. And so I'm interested in really free improv. I think especially because I'm not good at preparing for stuff. And so I walk in with a clean slate, no prep, and I get to go from there. So I'm lucky that I've become an improv musician.
And then how does video play into this all? You mentioned Chatroulette, but are you now producing your own videos, or is it primarily steeped in music, improvisation, live performance?
No, I love to document. I'm sort of obsessive about archiving stuff. I'm very nostalgic about personal memories. I love photos and videos of everything. And in all seriousness, as freakish as this sounds, if I could have a little camera running for every moment of my life, I would definitely do that. And especially dealing with strangers, they're a big part of the content. You know, I don't think the public is that interested in seeing me just sit down in a plain room and make things up off the top of my head. The interactive component of what I do and the other person is a huge factor. They're my co-stars. And so when I'm playing on the street or, you know, in a public context, sometimes magic happens. And if the camera's not running, it doesn't count. You know, I don't get to show the results. And so I carry 3 cameras with me all the time, and when I play piano, I set up, you know, 3-point shooting, and I love to capture the moment because I want to be able to watch it later and show it to people later.
How do you bring your music with you? Do you look for a piano? Do you have like an iPad that's got the you know, keyboard thing?
No, I only play real pianos. I'm not very interested in synthesizers or organs or anything else like that. And so I don't bring a piano anywhere. I look for them. And I like weird things, you know, like the hospital waiting room that happens to have a piano. And hey, these people aren't expecting to be entertained right now, but they're gonna be. So I like, that's why I carry cameras with me all the time, because, you know, I might walk out of here and see a piano in the lobby, and it's mostly just about, I don't particularly like attention. I don't like being the center of attention, but I do like being a catalyst and making things happen. And so it's always interesting to me to run into people and interact with them musically.
How much in Day in the Life of Merton are you Merton? I mean, is there any time that, you know, you sleep, or is you know, that you're and I'm noticing I love the glasses too, by the way. Didn't notice. Yeah.
Merton is not really a character, it's just a costume. And so Merton's personality is my personality. And so I don't really pretend to be different. But what I will say is, are you familiar with Fight Club?
Yes.
Brad Pitt's character, Tyler Durden. Merton is my Tyler Durden. I'm a very shy and a reclusive dude most of the time. And putting on the costume has kind of really brought me out of my shell. And when I put the costume on, I can think of it as a character and sort of make decisions for Merton that I would not make for myself. You know, like, well, geez, what kind of shoes should Merton wear, and what kind of, you know, and I don't think very much about my visual public presentation of my private self. So yeah, it really helps me to separate the two. It's been great. I hope it lasts forever. I hope I never get found out.
So it sounds to me like you thrive in a live environment with people.
Yeah.
So the Chatroulette, you know, it's in a way it's like a channel, like a webcast.
Yeah.
Have you been approached to do any sort of live streaming, live channel, live anything like that?
Yeah, several of those. I actually came up with the idea first on my own, though, and I thought about, and I'm still thinking about, I just haven't moved very far forward on this. Companies like Ustream or Stickcam, I think, is one, and I think there's one called Multistream, where I could basically, I have so many people who contact me and say, when are you going to be on Chatroulette? I want to go on and find you. And so I figured, well, maybe I can just have my own private Chatroulette with no naked dudes and, you know, no college kids, and it's just me, and everybody can log on and watch, and some people get chosen to interact with me personally. And I just am too lazy, and I'm not really a business person to have hooked that up yet, but that's sort of an opportunity I'm pretty interested in, is a company approaching me and saying, we're going to set up a webcam, you can get 20,000 people connected at one time, and you're interacting live with one of them at a time. And maybe they pay almost like a concert situation or something like that. So that might be a possible future.
And what would you say for somebody, you know, how powerful video is, and how videos now, they're saying, is becoming a first-class citizen, whether it's a company, whether it's just an individual, it's like, yeah, I'd love to do video, or recording artists, creative people. What would you say, kind of advice about getting in and using video to kind of expand your reach?
Well, yeah, video is huge. I mean, I think video, I don't know if I can say anything that hasn't already been said, but I mean, you know, a picture is worth 1,000 words, but a video is worth 1,000,000 pictures. I mean, if you think of a good friend who maybe is no longer around, or, you know, you get older and you change, to have video of a moment of your life is worth so much. You know, you see the person, how they move, their mannerisms, how they speak, and it's very different than looking at a photograph. And so as far as being a performer, the video and internet in particular, obviously, for somebody like me, I probably never would have gotten a record deal. I probably never would have walked into a record office and said, here's my demo tape, here's my photo. Oh, great, we're going to press 100,000 copies of your album. But because I was able to just make this humble little 5-minute video and put it in a place where millions of people could watch it, I was able to like insert myself in the mainstream that way. And so I would just encourage anybody who's a performer or artist to just do what you do, put it on film or take pictures, put it on the internet, and people can find it.
Very good, wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
It's
Very good.
so nice to see you people on the other side of the world.
Yes, me too.
Take care. Goodbye.